Stop being ignored is not about forcing the world to notice you, it is about becoming so present, so aware, that ignoring you becomes impossible. Each morning before the noise of the world begins, there is a quiet moment that most people waste. They reach for their phones, they chase distractions, and in doing so, they scatter their energy. A scattered mind becomes invisible. A restless presence is easily overlooked. If you wish to stop being ignored, you must first stop ignoring yourself. Add this to your morning routine immediately. Sit in stillness for a few minutes and observe your breath. Do nothing else. No thoughts to chase, no plans to build, just awareness. As you breathe in, know that you are breathing in. As you breathe out, know that you are breathing out. This simple act gathers your energy back to you. When your mind becomes steady, your presence becomes strong. And when your presence is strong, people feel it even if you say nothing. After this, set a clear intention for your day. Not many intentions, just one. A single focused direction. It could be to speak with clarity, to listen deeply, or to act with confidence. When your intention is clear, your actions align, and when your actions align, your energy stops leaking into doubt and hesitation. People often try to be seen by becoming louder, faster, or more forceful. But true visibility comes from alignment, not noise. A calm mind speaks more powerfully than a shouting voice. A focused person attracts more attention than a distracted crowd. Also, carry awareness into your first interactions of the day. When you speak to someone, truly be there. Look at them, listen without preparing your reply, and respond with sincerity. Most people are not ignored because they lack value, they are ignored because they are not fully present. Presence is rare, and anything rare is noticed. Remember, the world reflects what you bring into it. If you begin your day with chaos, you will be treated casually. If you begin your day with clarity and stillness, you will be received with respect. So do not chase attention. Build presence. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, set your intention, then step into the world not as someone seeking to be noticed, but as someone who is fully here. And those who are truly here are never ignored. Stop ignoring yourself first. Being ignored by others often begins with self-neglect. When you are disconnected from your own thoughts and presence, others sense that lack of awareness. To stop being ignored by others, you must first confront a quieter and often overlooked truth. Many people are constantly ignoring themselves. This does not happen in an obvious way. It happens in small, repeated moments, when you silence your own thoughts, when you dismiss your feelings, when you rush through your day without ever truly checking in with your inner state. Over time, this creates a kind of inner distance, as if you are living beside yourself rather than within yourself. And when this disconnection becomes your habit, it subtly shapes how others perceive and respond to you. A person who is not fully present with themselves often appears uncertain, distracted, or incomplete in their energy. Their words may be correct, but they lack weight. Their actions may be visible, but they lack impact. This is not because they are incapable or unworthy, but because their attention is divided. Part of them is always elsewhere, caught in past regrets, future worries, or the constant pull of distractions. When your own awareness does not rest with you, it becomes difficult for others to fully recognize you. Consider how often the day begins. The mind immediately reaches outward, toward a phone, toward messages, toward noise. Before the body is even fully awake, attention is already scattered in many directions. In this state, you are not choosing your presence, you are giving it away. And when you repeatedly give your attention away, you weaken the sense of self that anchors your presence in the world. To stop ignoring yourself is to gently reverse this habit. It begins with awareness. Instead of rushing outward, you pause and turn inward, even if only for a few moments. You notice your breath, your thoughts, your emotional state without trying to change anything. This simple act may seem small, but it is powerful. It is a declaration that your inner world matters, that your attention belongs to you first. As this awareness deepens, something begins to shift. You become more grounded, more centered. Your words start to come from a place of clarity rather than reaction. Your actions feel more deliberate rather than automatic. You are no longer pulled in every direction because you are anchored within yourself. And from this inner alignment, a quiet confidence emerges. It is not loud or forceful, yet it is unmistakable. People begin to notice, not because you are trying harder to be seen, but because there is now something steady and real in your presence. You are no longer fragmented. You are whole in the moment. In this way, being seen by others is not something you chase. It is something that naturally arises when you stop abandoning yourself. When you return to yourself fully, again and again, you create a presence that does not need to demand attention. It simply holds it. Start your morning with stillness. Sitting quietly and focusing on your breath helps gather your scattered energy and builds inner stability. The beginning of the day holds a quiet power that most people overlook. It is a space before demands, before conversations, before the world begins to pull at your attention. Yet many step into this space only to immediately fill it with noise. The hand reaches for the phone, the mind jumps into unfinished thoughts, and within moments the calm of the morning is replaced by restlessness. In doing so, the mind becomes scattered before it has even found its center. To begin your morning with stillness is to resist this habit. It is not about doing something complicated or extraordinary. It is about choosing, even for a few minutes, to sit without distraction and become aware of your breath. This act may seem simple, almost insignificant, but its effect is profound. When you sit and observe your breathing, you begin to gather the pieces of your attention that were previously dispersed. At first, the mind may resist. Thoughts will arise, plans for the day, worries, memories, and random distractions. This is natural. The goal is not to fight these thoughts or push them away. Instead, you gently return your focus to the breath. Each inhale becomes an anchor, each exhale a release. In this process, you are training your awareness to stay rather than wander. Over time, this practice creates a sense of inner stability. The breath is always present, always steady, and by aligning your awareness with it, you begin to reflect that same steadiness. Instead of being carried away by every thought or emotion, you learn to observe without being overwhelmed. This is where true calm begins, not in the absence of thoughts, but in your ability to remain grounded despite them. When your morning starts in this way, it changes the tone of everything that follows. You move into your day with a collected mind rather than a scattered one. Your responses become more thoughtful, your reactions less impulsive. Even in situations that would normally create stress or distraction, there is a part of you that remains centered, watching rather than immediately reacting. This inner stillness also strengthens your presence in subtle but noticeable ways. When you speak, your words come from a quieter, more focused place. When you listen, you are not divided between the speaker and your own internal noise. People can sense this difference even if they cannot explain it. A person who carries stillness into their actions naturally stands out in a world filled with distraction. The practice itself does not demand much time. Even 5 minutes of true stillness can begin to shift your state of mind. What matters is consistency. Each morning becomes an opportunity to return to yourself, to gather your attention, and to begin the day from a place of awareness rather than chaos. In this way, stillness is not an escape from the world. It is preparation for it. By grounding yourself in the quiet rhythm of your breath, you step into the day with a presence that is steady, clear, and difficult to overlook. Clarity of intention creates visibility. Setting one clear intention for the day aligns your actions and makes your presence more focused and noticeable. Clarity of intention is a quiet force that shapes how your entire day unfolds. Without it, the mind drifts from one task to another, reacting to whatever appears in front of it. This scattered movement weakens your presence. You may be busy, you may be active, but your energy lacks direction. And when energy has no direction, it becomes difficult for others to recognize or feel its impact. At the beginning of the day, the mind is like a blank space that can either be filled with purpose or with confusion. Most people allow the world to decide for them. Messages, responsibilities, and distractions begin to dictate their actions. In this state, they are not living intentionally, they are simply responding. Over time, this habit creates a sense of being overlooked because there is no clear signal in what they bring into each moment. To set a clear intention is to take back that control in a simple and focused way. It is not about creating a long list of goals or overwhelming yourself with expectations. In fact, the strength of intention lies in its simplicity. One clear direction is enough. It could be the intention to speak with calm confidence, to listen with full attention, or to act without hesitation. What matters is not the complexity of the intention, but the sincerity behind it. When you choose one intention, your mind begins to organize itself around it. Your actions, words, and even your thoughts start to align in subtle ways. For example, if your intention is to speak with clarity, you become more aware of how you express yourself. You pause before speaking, you choose your words carefully, and you avoid unnecessary noise. This alignment creates a sense of consistency, and consistency strengthens your presence. Without intention, energy leaks into many directions. You may start something and quickly move to another task. You may speak without fully thinking or listen without fully hearing. This fragmented behavior makes it easy for others to overlook you, not because you lack value, but because your presence feels unfocused. Intention gathers that scattered energy and gives it a single path. There is also a quiet confidence that comes from knowing your direction. When you act with intention, you are less affected by external distractions. You are not easily pulled into unnecessary conversations or reactions. There is a steadiness in how you carry yourself, a sense that you know where your attention belongs. People notice this even if they do not consciously understand it. A person with clear intention appears grounded and purposeful. It is important to remember that intention is not something you set once and forget. It is something you return to throughout the day. When you notice your mind drifting, you gently bring it back to your chosen direction. This repeated return strengthens your awareness and deepens your focus. In this way, clarity of intention becomes more than a morning practice. It becomes a way of moving through the world. When your energy is aligned with a clear purpose, your presence becomes sharper, more defined. You are no longer lost in distraction. You stand with quiet direction, and that alone makes you far more visible than before. Presence is more powerful than noise. You don't need to be louder to be seen. A calm, centered, and aware person naturally draws attention. Many believe that to be noticed they must become louder, faster, or more forceful. They raise their voices, rush their words, and try to fill every silence with sound. For a moment this may draw attention, but it is a fragile kind of attention. It fades quickly, leaving behind little substance. Noise can capture the ear, but it rarely holds the mind or touches the deeper awareness of others. True presence does not arise from noise. It arises from stillness. When the mind is restless, it seeks to prove itself. It tries to be seen through effort, through display, through constant movement. But this effort often reveals an inner imbalance. Words come out rushed, actions feel hurried, and there is a subtle sense of tension that others can feel. Even if they cannot explain it, they sense that something is unsettled. And in that unsettled energy, attention does not stay for long. A calm and centered mind moves differently. It does not rush to be heard, yet when it speaks, people listen. It does not chase attention, yet it naturally receives it. This is because calmness carries clarity. When there is no unnecessary noise within, what you express becomes simple, direct, and meaningful. Each word has space around it, and in that space, others can truly receive what you are saying. Consider a still lake. When the water is disturbed, its surface is broken and nothing can be clearly reflected. But when the water becomes calm, it reflects everything with precision. In the same way, a restless mind distorts communication, while a calm mind reflects truth more clearly. People are drawn to this clarity even if they do not consciously understand why. Being calm does not mean being passive or silent all the time. It means that your actions and words arise from awareness rather than impulse. When you speak, you are not reacting, you are responding. When you act, you are not rushing, you are choosing. This difference may seem subtle, but it transforms how others experience you. In a world filled with constant distraction, calmness has become rare. Most people are caught in endless streams of thoughts, notifications, and reactions. Because of this, a person who carries stillness stands out without effort. Their presence feels grounded, steady, and real. Others begin to pay attention not because they are being forced to, but because something in that calm energy invites focus. There is also strength in calmness. It is not weakness, as some may believe. It takes awareness to remain steady when everything around you is moving quickly. It takes discipline to pause before reacting, to listen fully before speaking. This strength is quiet, but it is deeply felt. When you rely on noise, you depend on external effort to be noticed. When you cultivate presence, you become naturally noticeable. Your energy becomes consistent, your words become meaningful, and your actions carry intention. Over time, this creates a sense of trust and respect from others. In this way, calmness is not just a personal state, it is a form of communication. Without saying much, it tells others that you are aware, grounded, and fully present. And in a world that is often loud but unfocused, this quiet clarity becomes impossible to ignore. Be fully present in interactions, listening. Deeply and engaging sincerely makes people feel your presence, and that makes you impossible to ignore. To be fully present in your interactions is a rare discipline, yet it is one of the most powerful ways to ensure you are not overlooked. Many conversations today are not true exchanges, they are overlapping monologues. One person speaks while the other prepares a response. Eyes may be directed toward the speaker, but the mind is elsewhere, drifting between thoughts, distractions, and silent judgments. In such moments, no real connection is formed, and without connection, presence fades. When you are not fully present with another person, it subtly communicates disinterest, even if that is not your intention. The other person may not consciously identify what is missing, but they feel it. Words are heard, yet they do not land. The interaction becomes forgettable. And in a world filled with half attention, forgettable interactions are easily ignored. To change this, you must bring your awareness completely into the moment of connection. When someone speaks, listen without interruption, not only externally, but internally as well. Notice the tendency of your mind to jump ahead, to form replies, to agree or disagree before the other person has finished. Instead of following these impulses, gently return your attention to what is being said. Listening in this way creates space. In that space, the other person feels acknowledged, not just heard. There is a difference between hearing words and receiving them. When you truly receive what someone is saying, your response becomes more thoughtful, more relevant, and more genuine. This depth transforms even simple conversations into meaningful exchanges. Presence is also expressed through how you look, how you sit, and how you respond. When your attention is undivided, your body reflects it. Your eyes are steady, your posture is relaxed yet attentive, and your reactions are natural rather than forced. These subtle signals communicate more than words alone. They show that you are there, fully and sincerely. Many try to be noticed by speaking more, by inserting themselves into conversations, or by trying to impress others. But when presence is missing, these efforts often have the opposite effect. They create noise without connection. On the other hand, a person who listens deeply and speaks with intention may say less, yet leaves a stronger impression. There is also a quiet confidence that arises when you are fully present. You are not searching for the perfect thing to say, nor are you worried about how you are being perceived. Your focus is on the interaction itself, not on yourself within it. This shift removes unnecessary tension and allows your natural clarity to emerge. Over time, people begin to notice this quality. They may seek your attention, value your input, and feel more comfortable in your presence. Not because you demand attention, but because you offer something that is increasingly rare: genuine awareness. Being fully present in interactions is not about perfection. The mind will wander at times and distractions will arise. What matters is your ability to return again and again to the person in front of you. Each return strengthens your presence and deepens your connection. In this way, you do not force yourself into visibility. You become visible through the quality of your attention. When you give your full presence to others, they naturally give their attention to you. And in that exchange, being ignored is no longer a concern because you are truly seen.